at the first entry, right? So even like DCA, the only thing DCA is doing you is like giving you a 1% better risk to return overall, right? So if you don't, consider that gain, that 1% increase in risk to return as much, then just let DCA go and go with the standard position size in our place. Okay, I guess we have enough members for us to begin the stream. So as usual, before we move on to the charts and we go into discussion of BTC, ETH and all, so as usual, in the beginning, I'll, like to hear a bit from you people on how your trading has been. What do you think about the market? What are your current thoughts? Anything, you want to discuss in general before we move on to charts? I sometimes feel the second entry you call an entry it instead moves up, so top of entry zone is blessing to hit. Yeah, so if you feel like that, then don't TCA, right? Just go one single position size at the initial entry. I think ETH 2150 then down. Yeah, I agree. ETH move is long due, really, really long due. So it had to come at some point. Hopefully, it does when we all are positioned into it. Or your account is that big, you move the market yourself. Yeah, that's the reason. Like I market buy with almost 1 million TVAP orders. That's the reason alts move so fast. You use isolated or cross according to your strategy. So depends, like if I'm playing ETH and BTC, I don't mind even using cross, because even because the possibility of your stop loss not triggering and your account your overall balance getting at risk is almost minimal and zero, right? But if I am playing some low liquidity shitcoin, I wouldn't really like to be on cross, because on those low liquidity stuff, if your stop loss gets slipped and if it doesn't trigger, then you are almost risking your entire account balance, right? So it's much better to rather go, for beginners I just say just go with isolated, and just add margin if you feel your liquidation is, like, go with low leverage and isolated, that's all. Yeah, exactly. I feel like cross is really good for people who, go high position size, high margin on, ETH and BTC and really high cap stuff. But if you are into playing shit coins and, things like those, it's much better you go with isolated instead of risking your entire account. Okay, what else you people need have to discuss? Also, shall I use a fixed hour while following you? Yeah, that's bit subjective. We have talked about that. Shall I use? Okay, you asked that again. Shall I use fixed per risk per your call? For example, if you have given a trade, shall I calculate based on fixed risk? For calls, mostly I'm risking only 100%. What? Or shall I? Or shall I use? Or shall I just use a fixed position size for your calls? So first of all, I think you made a typo with writing 100%. So yeah, overall, I'll say that just follow the lead that I give in my thread, right? Like for past 5 days, almost like at least 10 times a day I kept on mentioning this is not the time to go risk on, right? Even the calls, like even if I gave one call a day, I specifically mentioned 0.5 hour risk max, like, right? So if you're following my thread, I'll tell you the times where it's time to go risk on, where the conditions are good, and you can automatically judge that. Even if you are simply copy trading, if a trader is doing well, then yes, feel free to risk a little extra in his trades, right? But if it's he's not performing well and he himself is telling you that the conditions are not good and go lower risk, then you size a bit down. What do you do with your position when you want to go to sleep? So I, to be honest, a lot of time just let my positions run over sleep. I have my stop loss and TPs in place, so I don't want to miss a play just because I want to go to sleep. So I most of the times just let it run. Unless it's like a really lower time frame scalp, then most probably I'd close it. But most of the times, the my trading strategy is I like to play higher time frame, bigger moves on alts, right? So I could simply just let those plays run even when I am sleeping, and I sleep for like 3 4 hours, so I'm good with my positions running unintended in those few hours. I've been facing an issue of position size. It would be very helpful if you could help me with it. I have a like I really don't want to, take everyone's time over here to go on the basic of position sizing and risk management. That's something, even if you go in the beginners section, and if you ask over there would be a lot of mods to help you out, right? But overall, just there is also a course over risk management in the group. Just go over the course, go over the basics of risk management, how you calculate the risk of your position size, how do you position size according to the percentage of the stop loss and all. It's pretty basic stuff, right? So I don't want to go over that in a lot of detail. Where would be good levels to accumulate Solana? Salt spot? Yeah, we'll go over the charts soon, don't worry. Do you compound your positions if the trade is going the right way? Yes, there are instances where I like to compound my trades, and in most of those scenarios, I do like to mention, right? Like, for example, if ETH never gave us another move down for me to compound back the profits, like when earlier I mentioned that I took a small TP. If ETH had went down, I would have definitely informed the group as well. I would have most probably added back the position I took out for the profits. So yes, if I have a conviction on a play, I do like to compound it and get newer entries and increase my position size as the play moves up. Do you still target 30 on ORDI? Yeah, I think like these new listed coins could keep on going. So I did get an entry on TIA that I wanted, and it looks like a pretty good entry. I would definitely, want to get some spot entry on ORDI as well. Yeah, thanks for reminding. I'm here less than 2 weeks, so need a little more time to learn every trader's moves and grooves. So I started with smaller R per trade. Yeah, that's the perfect way to start, right? You don't need to be any hurry. If you are here, you're most probably going to be for a long time, right? So doesn't mean that you join and you want to, get substantial gains in the first week only. Like usually first few weeks are the time where our new members tend to lose the most, because initially they get overwhelmed by so many trades getting called out, every trader having their own bias, having their own trading strategy. So it's much better that you take a week to settle down, take just go through the stuff, and just observe how things work here, right? And then you can begin to size up and pick your spots. what what's your main strategy? I mainly see you only post open interest and that sort. Like I do consider the floor, which includes open interest, spot and perps bets, and the overall funding on the coin I want to trade. That's like one of the strong confluence I take in account. But I would consider my main strategy being simply playing ranges, playing macro levels, and playing market structures and liquidity. Yeah, that's it. Where to find courses? I think if you ask this in the beginners or general chart, there's like a lot of educational content pinned over here. In there's, I think, a special educations section as well, so you would find a lot of stuff there to learn. What are your thoughts about ENS? I do agree. ENS used to be in the ETH bucket once upon a time, but lately it's just a dead coin that just gives the random moves. It's not much related to ETH family lately. ACC commissioner, there is no reason for us to stand in the way of we bullish. Yeah, everything looks good for now. Very first channel in Discord, please have a look. Yeah. I want to make good profits, but also become better skilled trader myself. Yeah, that's a really good mindset to have. Because if you are only here for the copy trading, yes, this group does provide that, but that isn't something that would help you grow so much in the long run, right? By just only copy trading. We missed lower bids on the coin you wanted, INJ Sol. Yeah, we'll go with the plan. I do think this is still not the time to go heavy on the alts. I think this is the time, like, yes, alt season and alts run is pretty much used to be pretty much related to ETH and ETH to BTC and how ETH performs. But for past 1 month, we could see that we had gotten some kind of a mini alt season, and that was all without ETH, right? ETH to BTC was still dying and alts were still running hard, right? So I think the correlation between alts and ETH isn't that strong that it used to be. So what I believe right now is in coming time you could see that finally ETH catches up with the market while rest of the things just chop around, maybe just get pulled up a bit by ETH. So I do think once the ETH moves ended, once ETH's done the catching up, and maybe we get a bit of a move higher on BTC, maybe we sweep 38k up, move towards 38.5, 39. I do think a deeper pullback on alts and overall market is still due. So my stance on the market is I am bullish on ETH and ETH family coins, and I am still a bit cautious on overall market. I am still not going risk heavy on alts. I still don't think that if ETH runs a bit more here, alts are going to go into second phase of a alt season, right? I do think that alts still need some kind of a reset down, which I think we would still get. So yeah, that's my overall plan for now. The only thing I'm bullish right now is on ETH and ETH family coins, which includes LDO, OP, ETC, ARB maybe, FXS maybe. Sushi, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. So, like, whenever BNB is looking really weak and whenever BNB is getting sold off, the money starts rotating from the decks from the I didn't mean sex, like um, from Binance and the exchange coins to the DEX exchange coins. So yeah, like coins like DYDX, Uni, Sushi, GMX, all these coins tend to run pretty strong when BNB is weak. So that's what we have been seeing since yesterday. So yeah, I agree. Sushi, Uni, these are the coins I do have on my list. That was like CEX, not the other one. ETH going down tomorrow a little, and yeah, even if ETH pulls back a bit over here, like, okay, I think that's like enough of talking, and we should just move towards the charts now. Whenever the discussion starts to get a bit out of hand, that's the trigger for me to just move back to the charts. Can you guys see the screen? I do hope that the LDO plan I shared, some of you people were able to take a position, because if ETH runs, LDO is going to be the strongest beta to ETH. First of all, let's look at the thing that's been most hyped up for the day, which is ETH. Overall, I think the most important confluence I would want to see on ETH is a bit more of consolidation and acceptance above this last high, right? Because ever since we got that ETF pump on ETH, we haven't ever been able to get acceptance and break above any previous highs, right? So this is what I want to see here. Once I begin to see something like this, I would be pretty much confident for seeing a move higher, for running all these highs, and even towards 22 2300, right? So that's what I am looking right now, because I don't want this to be another, like, if this was a bear market condition, I wouldn't be that bullish on a meme line breakout, on a trend breakout. But these things tend to work pretty good in an uptrend in a bull market, right? So the only thing I do want to see after this trend break is consolidation above previous highs. Once we see that, we are pretty much good to go a lot higher. But also another thing I do want is, I don't want BTC to go insane right now, because if BTC starts running again with a dominance led run, that wouldn't be really good for our ETH and ETH coins. So, what you want to see on BTC, and I do expect that BTC is back under the resistance. And, when you see closely, we have these flat candles pushes, right? So I think what you could see over, going into the holidays is that BTC just chops around, and while it does that, money keeps on rotating into ETH, and ETH to BTC keeps on, showing strength towards the holiday and all that, right? So that's my overall plan. And someone asked about my plan of loading up on the alts. Right now, I am just getting my daily profits out of leverage trades. Right now, I still have no swing exposure on alts. All the buying I was willing to do, right? And I think that opportunity would still come, because what I have in my mind as a plan is that BTC just chops around for some time, we get a run higher on ETH, and we finally get some spike above on BTC, take out these highs, and then we see a proper correction on the market once we have gotten that ETH move. And once we get that, that's somewhere I want to get some decent exposure on the market, and that includes Sol, INJ, FET, all these coins I wanted to accumulate. I still haven't got any exposure on those coins. I am still just day trading on the ETH and ETH family coins. I still think that once this ETH move is done, once ETH has done catching up, we still see some decent correction, maybe from 30 once we get the sweep on BTC. Before that, I expect BTC to just chop around, consolidate, while ETH goes for its run. Did you say OP? Yeah. So usually whenever ETH coins are running, OP, ARB, LDO, FXS, and yeah, these are pretty much the coins, and ETC. Like ETC is like a Dino coin which has ETH in its name, right? So it tends to run when ETH coins run. So these are the coins you should have in your list. Can you please give us limits in advance for coins you want to accumulate in a seed? So I do have levels in my mind, and I would give them eventually when I see price getting close to that level, right? For example, I want to accumulate Sol anywhere near 42 till 38, right? Now imagine me sending out those limits right now and someone being in a sol long, or even in a sol long from someone, from a trader who called out from this group, right? I don't want to fud anyone's bias or anyone's trade or anything like that, right? Why would I call out a limit at 42 when we are currently trading around 55 or 60s, right? So I would eventually give out the accumulation areas that I want to accumulate, but I would only do that once I feel that, market is breaking down and we are getting closer to those limits. What we doing with Floki? So what we doing is I am still holding my position. I like this chart a lot. So you know this was pretty much the range we were in past. You can see this level being flipped right now, and one of my favorite structures to play on alts: initial move, retest of a SR, lower high, then back consolidation and go for another run higher, right? So I think even if it takes time, even if it consolidates for some time, I think it could give us some decent move, right? I do think like Floki and Pepe might, be giving some moves in coming time. Like these meme coins have been silent for almost a month, I think, from their initial runs up. Musa says RIF. First of all, just tell me what's the trading volume on this coin, because most of the times these random coins you tag me in, they are like the least running volume coins, and I really don't like to play them. Didn't Matic used to follow ETH last bull market? What do you like? Last bull market, everything was going up, right? And yes, Matic is one of the higher cap L1s, and higher caps tend to move together. But right now, when ETH is moving and ETH is running, you need to focus on lower cap ETH coins. That's it. Don't look for higher cap rotations within AVAX, All ETH, or Matic, or this stuff. But then you would take those position on spot. Yeah, obviously I'll be taking most of the plays, the swing exposure I want on spot. Because in a uptrend, you can see fundings going, insane. Like if you remember from like a week or 2 weeks ago, most of the trending coins were having funding almost closer to zero point 0.1, right? So you don't want to have a swing play running with such insane funding rates. What do you think about PYTH? So to be honest, I'm not like a fundamental trader. So the only thing I could say about this is once I get like a decent, price action developed on it, then I would look to trade it. That's it. Other than that, Musa is shilling this coin a lot, so maybe he knows better. Please look at Uni. Yeah, we'll have a look at Uni. What are your favorite high cap coins? For like currently, I don't have any favorite coin, right? The only favorite thing to for me in this market is shorting coins, right? So I don't have any favorite coin. But if you want to say that what higher cap coin could give a move next, my best bet would obviously be ETH. Then anything other than that, I think I do really like this Atom chart a lot. So, if Atom gets this flip, I might call it out for the group. Like initial run up, consolidation, a fake breakout below deviation. This is a good, deviation setup to try, right? So something similar on Atom. So if it does starts to flip back this level on 4 hour, this $8.99 level, I do want to get some Atom exposure. But first of all, I am mostly focused on ETH and want to see how ETH performs in coming time, and then maybe I could, look at rotation into other higher caps. Yeah, I agree. Matic is pretty much similar looking, but I like the overall structure on Atom a bit more. Let me look at what Matic is doing. Yeah, see, like Matic is looking way, weaker and way bad, I would say, than what's Atom doing. Like, let me, you know, pull that chart again. Like, for Matic to be bad, I would want it to go way higher, and only then I would be interested, flipping back this daily SR and, getting above this breakdown level. Only then I would be interested. But when you compare this, like Matic is doing something like, this right now. On the other hand, Atom is something, that consolidated, broke down, and is almost at this phase, right? So, like, if I had to choose between this and this, I would go with, Atom overall. So, yeah, it never play out when you involve your friends and family. I agree 100%. I never give any call crypto advice to any of my friends or like none of my family is into this market, and overall they still think it's like a big scam. But all of the friends I have, which are like 90% down on their accounts, I still don't feel good to guide them in any form. Any interest in trading XRP? To be honest, I hate trading. Like, if you ask me about XRP, Dodge, and what else there could be, XRP, Dodge, and maybe LTC. These three are the coins that, even if you force me to trade, I would never trade them. I don't like the price action on them. So, yeah. All HBJ friends are 90% down, man. I don't want to be friends. They are not down because of me, right? They are down because of their own deeds. And I think majority of the people from where I am are down like at least 90%. So it's not like only my friends. But yeah, they are not down due to me. Yo, Pocky just joined. How you, brother?
What's up, my bro? Good, man. I seen you in here by yourself. I want to come keep you some company.
Yeah, that's great.
How you doing?
All good, bro. Got some decent ETH trade, some longs on ETH coins, and yeah, that's pretty much was a good trading day.
Oh, yeah, I seen that continuation entry. That's fire, dude. Good entry. Beautiful. Very beautiful.
Yeah, I do think like ETH is something, the only thing right now in the market with such a market cap that hasn't, caught up with the market. And right now, to be honest, like majority of the CT is so bearish on ETH, and especially the Sol, maxis, and everyone's calling ETH dead, and saying that it would be getting replaced by the newer L1, L2s. But I think they all would be soon, wronged when you finally get to see a ETH rally. I think we like 22, even towards 2400 would be soon coming, and yeah.
Yeah, I've been eyeing that 24 for weeks now. You know what I mean? Like I've been waiting for it. I think it's definitely long overdue. For the
Yeah,
queen, the
each move
queen of
has been
crypto.
really long. Yeah. I also got a spot bag on TIA yesterday around 5.5 and 5. I think the way it's been bullish and the trend it had, it was almost like a 30% retracement, a little more than that. I think that's like the retracement you buy on such a trending coin. So I am overall like midterm bearish on it. I do think we get run off these highs and maybe even higher towards like $9-10 in coming time. So I'm going to let my spot position run. That's the only spot exposure I have right now, a major spot exposure. Do you think I should wait for some dip for ETH or enter now? I'm feeling a bit FOMO. So to be honest, like the weekends coming, the holidays are coming up, so you could expect pretty much anything, right? Like despite everyone being really bullish right now on ETH at this break, we could very well, just work a bit lower, scare a bit of people, and then continue running higher. So I would say like look to capitalize on any pullback we get closer to 2030, and even closer to 2000. That's the level where you load up and have your invalidation maybe a bit below 1970, 1960. So try that play if the market gives you. Don't, like, I wouldn't suggest you aping right now into ETH right when it has swept these previous highs, right? So if, like, wait for a good opportunity, even if ETH is going to run in coming time, it would give you a lot of opportunities to get some exposure.
Yeah, I like 2050 for a bullish retest of the range POC. If you're trying to force entry on ETH, that would be like your first area of interest on as that 2050 in my opinion. We still got
Yeah,
this.
I agree.
We got the weekly POC that's been acting as resistance at 2082 for forever now. I mean, it's been rejecting off of that since March. So
Yeah.
I think if we can finally get a candle closure above 2082, then that 24 target is on the table.
And I really want that because I have a really good on-chain bag of a coin that's pretty much related to ETH. So I do want ETH to run hard in coming time so that my bag run good too. ETC looking good. I think ETC would, like, the way this chart is looking, and if ETH continues this strength, this coin is going to give you a really good move in coming time.
It just shows,
You just
HBJ, it shows, man, how people get so fucking bearish at the bottom, and everyone that shorts the bottom just gets wrecked, dude. It happens every single week, nonstop.
Yeah, I agree. Like, even though I took a shot yesterday and it gave me really good profits, but I then slept with a flat bias. I woke up in the morning, I saw some good bullish confluence, and I flipped back long, right? So in a uptrend, you don't need to stick to your, like, I had been bearish on the market ever since we tapped around 2050 on ETH and we got this ETH led move, right? But once we got that decent sell off on the market and I woke up with this buyback on ETH, I flipped back my bias, right? In an uptrend, you don't have to be bearish for that long. Like, yes, it's okay to short, and it's okay to be cautious and hoping, waiting for a pullback, but don't be someone who keep sticking to the bearish bias.
I mean, I don't know if you've heard me say this before, but it's one of my mottos. The only reason why you guys see me short so fucking much is just so I could long. I never ever want a coin go to zero. I don't even care if I'm shorting it because that's just not good for the crypto
I do
market.
want coins to go to zero. Like, I would love that.
So, that's the reason why we short. We short just to long. That's it. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. Floki about to rip. Let me see what's Floki doing.
Funding's neutral across the board. It looks really good for alts right now.
Yeah, like the insane funding we got like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, that has pretty much resetted.
Yeah, everything's looking very much prime for a big move soon.
what on-chain coin is HBJ holding? No, I'm not going to tell that. There are few reasons. First of all, it's a lower cap coin. I don't want to shill that to anyone. Secondly, I won't give anyone any financial advice on something that even I don't know what I am doing, right? I am holding that bag only because of someone I follow and someone I trust following. So if I don't have enough knowledge about anything, why would I share it with anyone else? BTC about to test 38K. I really don't want BTC to run here, to be honest. If BTC runs here, it's going to, ruin our place. I just want BTC to chill down a bit, just, calm down while ETH and alts run.
Yes. I shorted BTC right here.
Right here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is that every single time you join my stream, you enter a BTC shot?
No, it's just in an area that I'm interested in. That's all. It's just an area I'm interested in. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, I do agree. Like most of the times I'm coming on stream lately at this time of the night. Most of the time BTC starts to push up.
Oh, wonderful. I'm gonna close my long and break even.
Long or the short?
The short.
Oh.
Ooh, good job.
I think a good shot would be once we get these sweeps. So, if you get the sweep and you begin to see some deviation back below, this is a good short trigger.
I was playing that like if you go to the 30-minute, there's that wick that we had on Tuesday, yesterday. That's what I was looking that sweep for right there. And then we just have some like range POCs, value area
Yeah,
range.
this week. There could be. We could definitely reverse. And I also use the confluence of flat candles as a confluence for price, definitely revisiting that in coming time. So we do have these flat candle pushes around 36.7. So even if we go higher, I do think once we sweep, we are going to revisit this area again.
Mario Bros. No, I don't give out official trades. All my trades are conditional with divergences, so it's too difficult for me to give out limits. I can give you areas of interest and levels and stuff like that, but it's all still based off divergences.
Yo, BLZ is running. I was looking at BLZ earlier. Let's see. I missed this play. Like few hours before, I was looking to long it somewhere around here, and it's like 6-7% up from there. That's bad. Can you give a look on DYDX? Yes. I like the DYDX chart right now a lot. The reason being, let me clear a bit. You can see how crucial this 3.2 level was on DXY, right? And I mentioned once we got that bearish close that you need to wait for acceptance back above, right? And it gave this decent trigger this morning, but I was already in ETH and LDO long, so I didn't want to over risk. But you can see these were pretty much our previous range highs. And when you switch to a bit of lower time frame, let me clear this again. You can see it was a perfect deviation and acceptance spark kind of a setup, right? Deviated below, got acceptance spark. This was your trigger to try along. Now I still think it could keep on running good in coming time. So if it gives you a bit of pullback, maybe you can try even a position here. But if you try a position here, your invalidation would be at least how wide that would be. That would be somewhere. Nah, that's too wide for even for me to play. So like if I had to enter dydx, my invalidation has to be below this 3.2 level, right? That would be like a 10-12%. So I would rather wait for some kind of a pullback a bit lower, enter anything closer to 3.35, 3.3, and then target the highs above. Also, even when you look at the overall structure it's forming, so you know you can get some kind of this another retest to form this bottom and then run higher. So if you do get a pullback on dydx, try to bet that. For blz I did check coinalize. That's the reason I am a bit mad on myself, because blz looked pretty decent. There were some good oi bids and spot bids. And overall, the way the chart looks, one of the important reasons I wanted to long was that you look at this accumulation after this, wick down, tried to break below this accumulation for a long time, didn't break, and eventually you got this bullish close above. This was my trigger to try along. And along with decent confidence on Coinalize, and see it's almost like 10% up since then. Really bad play from my side. I should have tried it. Same goes for Stodge, I think. Yeah, these are the two plays. I don't know why I missed so bad. Even Stodge is running pretty good. Same, reason, gave initial run up, consolidating. I do think Stodge might consolidate a bit more before it breaks out. So BLZ for me was a higher conviction play, but yeah, I kind of missed them both. Let's see if Floki helps us, you know, recover those missed profits. ORDY for tomorrow, please. What's tomorrow? Like, is there anything special for this coin tomorrow? I think, like, if I want to get some spot swing exposure on this coin, I know it might be a bit too much to ask, but I do want to get like a bit of a better entry, considering I want to swing it out for coming time like I waited for TIA. I think if in coming time we get a rundown on all these lows that we have been front running into this demand, this is a good buy area for me to try, similar to what we did on TIA. So I think if we do get a pullback towards 16 down till 14, that's a buy zone for me. I'll just buy some spot and just leave it for coming weeks. Overall, if you don't want, if you are just someone who just want to get some decent scalp moves on this coin, I think, let me just clean my chart up. To be honest, doesn't look bad over here. Like, the only issue is you can't go really high leverage on this due to the high volatility on this coin, or really big position size. But I would say that if you do want to try a play, doesn't look bad here. Something of this sort. Have your stop loss below this recent demand block. Have some room to add lower. does something like this, could move good in coming time. And either you have a hard stop loss, or you simply just cut it out if it begins to roll back below this yellow box. But I agree, it does have upside exposure on a lot of things. I don't want to over risk going into holiday, but I think this could run good. Not related, but if Sol pumps, trade Ray, Sol Dex. Yeah, Ray is one of the Solana coins that tend to move once Sol runs. I'm in a long on BTC. Should I TP now? I think he might be able to answer better, but from my personal experience, he's more of a scalp trader. So depends if you are in a swing position who have pretty high targets. Pocky might be, booking his all profits on like a 0.51% move down, and then BTC could keep on, trending back up. So you need to see what kind of reasoning you have and what kind of reasoning he has. Did you already cover Saul's chart? No, I did not.
No, I closed the short out. I closed it out break even. It depends on where you're long from too. Are you happy with your profits? If you're happy with your profits, take it. If I'm
Yeah.
long from the dip earlier today, or yesterday, like 35 area, then my targets would be, my first TP would basically be like 37.9, which we're about to hit, and then higher. I've been waiting for 38.955 for pretty much a year. Yeah, I agree, Don.
This coin could run too. Like AR is also one of Solana coins that tend to move together. A lot of things look like they could move really good right now. So maybe if you want to try, you could try this as well. A valid setup over here could flip. Yeah, these are the two valid alt setup I find if you people want some alt scalp exposure. I am not, as a disclaimer, I am not personally taking any of these two trades because I already have a decent exposure that I did call out for the group. But if you want to try something, these two are things that could run good. I am so fucked with Sol still underwater, forgot stop loss. So my guess would be, are you short on Sol? Because Sol is running pretty nice right now. So the only reason you could be underwater is that you are short on Sol.